So what are the advantages of having your own home gym as opposed to going to the gym? I really found this out in the latest Melbourne lockdown. I didn't have a choice. I couldn't go to the gym even if I wanted to. Built my own home gym, started training out of it, and I did find there were some advantages. First one, if it gets hotter, you can just work out in like your undies, in your shirt. You can grunt, whatever you like. You can set up your computer to play movies or play your favourite shows. Man, I watched during that lockdown, I watched the whole Walking Dead, Raising Kanan, BMF, heaps of AFL games and NRL games too during the lockdown. So that's probably the most noticeable advantage. You can sort of treat it as your own space and do whatever you like. Secondly, we all have our own special talents. One of my main talents is losing everything. Man, I have lost that many wrist straps, knee wraps, pairs of shoes, lifting straps, whatever, like belts. I've lost it all at the gym. Sometimes I get it back, sometimes I don't. Hey, I never lost anything at home, and when I did, I found it 2 months later accidentally. So yeah, you wear the wrong pair of shoes, you got heaps of shoes here, don't worry. Forgot your lifting straps? Oh, don't worry, there's some in your gym bag in the car. It was really handy and convenient having everything there. I never lost anything. Speaking of accessories, are you ever intimidated or weirded out to use something at the gym, because people give you weird looks? Man, I was using my slingshot and my Zerka harness all the time. I even bought one of those mouth guard pieces because I thought, oh, they look fun, I'll buy one. Fuck, I'd never use that in a gym, but man, I was mouth guarded up and everything. Another obvious advantage, when you're deadlifting, you can just leave the heavy weights on your deadlift bar and yeah, you don't have to empty the bar at the end of the workout. Hey, if you're tired, you just go inside and then obviously you got to do it next workout, but yeah, you worry about it then. Whereas at the gym, they don't like that stuff. Couple of disadvantages. I've got 220 here and rubber mats down. This is the place where I live, I don't really want to crack the concrete. And that's my neighbour's wall to my left and your right. So yeah, she's probably trying to get some sleep right now. And here I am pulling 220 and making a racket. But when you're doing hook grip with this, you can put chalk all over your hands, nice and chalked. And there we go, and crash, and my neighbour just woke up. Sorry about that. And I'm probably grunting now, going, and cool. Another thing that may happen in your home gym, doesn't happen on deadlift day, but look, when you are doing bench press, you have to ensure that the spotter arms are set up correctly. Because if you do drop the bar on yourself, you may not be able to get it off yourself, especially if you're wearing a belt or, you drop it on your throat. You think, oh, no, I'll just roll it down and I'll be good. But you don't. You sort of panic in situations like that. So do make sure you're on top of that. And yeah, if you're bench pressing alone heavy, set your spotter arms up correctly. So this is an older video and my thumbs are a little more conditioned. This is still my brand new Texas bar, right? The deadlift bar. However, if you look at the end of the video, my thumbs aren't as sore. So I'm pretty seasoned for hook grips at this point. Not like I am now. Too much strap use in between. And there we go. No sore thumbs, no nothing. Just a little bit of a backward bend. Now, what did I tell you at the start of the workout? Everything's here. You don't leave stuff at home. Man, I'm rummaging through for 5 minutes, stressing. You shouldn't stress in between lifts, and I'm stressing because I can't find my lifting straps, right? Hey, they're in the bucket in my home gym. Everything's there. Now, in my home gym, I basically just have a squat rack, barbells, and weights. Now, this can be an advantage or a disadvantage, depending on how you look at it. The most obvious one is it's a disadvantage because I've only got barbells and weights, right? And if you go to the gym, you have dumbbells, you have, 50 different machines, you have cardio, you have all this kind of stuff, right? Sometimes I wouldn't mind a cable machine in here, right? But I just don't have the space for it. Now, when you got like a smorgasbord of exercises to do, the problem that you may encounter is you don't master any of the exercises, right? You just do them because, you do 3 sets of this and 3 sets of that, but you don't get really good at anything. Now, throughout COVID, I worked 60, 70, 80-hour weeks, right? And I didn't do much training. The last lockdown, they actually banned home visits, so I wasn't allowed to enter anyone's house and set up anyone's gym. So I still did deliveries, dropped off at their door, then I'd go home, train with the barbell. I fell back in love with barbell movements. I hadn't been doing it in so long. I'd just been doing lazy workouts once a week or something like that. Then all of a sudden, I started getting good at squatting. I started doing conventional deadlift again. I started getting good at bench pressing. Started putting on muscle again. There's always one guy in the gym that says, but you need to do this for your upper chest, and this for your lower chest, and this for your side chest, and this to make your nipples stand up. And I've never really been worried about, doing flies from all different kinds of angles and all that kind of thing. Most of my upper body size has just come from, squatting, bench pressing, and deadlifting. Don't get me wrong, I still do isolation training in the gym, but I don't do 100 sets for chest or anything like that. Like for chest, I might do 3 or 4 different exercises, right? And instead of just doing them for the sake of doing them, I try get better at each of them. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be like a weight personal best, like I'm going up in weight every week. It can be just switching on different muscles when I'm doing it. How do you switch on different muscles when you're doing chest? Well, you can do certain things like you can sort of bring it out wide, or you can almost touch your elbows on your hips. Usually that works a little bit more tricep. You can point your shoulder blades down into your back pockets. You can really sort of brace your abs. Doing these kind of technique cues has really helped me define my chest, given me a bigger bench press. I think when you're doing those maximum lifts, right, every repetition that you've ever done factors, even if it's 0.00001%, every single rep you've ever done factors into that. So even if it's a minuscule, tiny amount, right, you don't want this minuscule amount to add up and 50% of your reps you've done in your life for this particular exercise look like shit. So then you go hit a PB and you don't get it and you wonder why. Another thing I never understood, right, you ask people about training, their routine, what they're doing, and they always say, I want to be a little bit big, but I don't want to be too big. Or, they say, I don't want to be a bodybuilder. Man, you don't just rock up to the gym and say, I want to become a bodybuilder. It takes a lot of time, effort, dedication. The bodybuilders at the gym, won't accept you if they don't see you're serious, you know what I mean? You can't call yourself a bodybuilder unless they do. So people with that mentality need to just say, all right, well, I'm going to look everything I can up about bodybuilding, if that's what you want to achieve. You won't achieve your Ronnie Coleman physique, if you do bodybuilding training for 2 months. Just do 2 months, take it seriously, and see what happens. And I guarantee you will see results. If you don't see results, hey, you didn't take it seriously enough. And hey, that's okay. Some people are a little bit more genetically advanced than others. Sort of like how me growing up played a lot of basketball, but I never made the NBA, believe it or not. I never made any rep teams, because I only stood 5'10" and a half and everyone else was 7 foot. Well, that and I was just no good, So it's a little dark and hard to see. But even though I'm using straps this set, I'm doing stiff leg deadlifts. I'm not actually doing conventional. So for this movement, I actually try and leave my sort of hamstrings, hips, feet in roughly about the same place, keep the legs stiff, and I almost lean my torso forward, stretch out my hamstrings, and then push back with my hips. A lot of people, when I see them do this movement, they just basically do a partial range deadlift. Shit, you see that? I'm getting skinnier, The belt popped out and I didn't even unclip it. But yeah, for stiff leg, I've read a lot of research and it says to do lower reps due to the hamstrings being a predominantly fast twitch muscle. Despite this, I've always done it pretty slow, just basically bend down with the bar, touch my toes, and come up like a regular deadlift. Now, I've mentioned how doing the barbell movements are often a lot better than sort of doing machines. Now, one of the best back builders, right, is a bent over row with a barbell. Now, if this was in the gym, right, I'd probably do like 3 sets of 10 on some cable machine or something like that. I don't know, lat pull down, whatever was free, whatever people went on and I could jump in. Now, moving to the deadlift platform, taking up a whole platform, doing your bent over rows, putting plates on and off. Look, it is very time consuming. It's even a little annoying. However, once you do this movement regularly, like it'll help you deadlift, it'll help you squat, it'll help you bend, it'll literally help all strength exercises. I find bent over rows, it's sort of hard to get the technique. You might do it and think you're doing right, but to actually brace your core and not really move your torso much. I know when I'm getting tired, which I am now, my torso does move a little bit, but to really lock that in while you're rowing, just isolate your lats, tense your abs, it's a really difficult movement. Finally, to finish off the workout, this is one movement from those like late night TV shows that actually works, the good old ab roller. I just find it a very convenient exercise for your abs. Like, I don't really do sit-ups, but how much sit-ups and planking do you have to do? Man, you do like 3 sets of 5 on this, your abs will be like in agony the next day, eh? Man, the correct answer is you have to do like 5,000 sit-ups for your abs to be this sore, eh? Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Until next week.